Come on, I know it's something here. Okay, I'm live. Alright. Now. Give me a moment. Hold on. I wasn't checked. Hold on for a minute. But, yeah. Hello everyone, it's me, ShadowNexus.0, and welcome. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. My phone. Jesus Christ, hold on. Alright. What was I? Oh, yeah. Hello, my dudes. It's me, ShadowNexus.0. Welcome to this reacting video. And today we're a live stream, and today is Tuesday. And today, in the title of the video, we're gonna react the story of Quit Potato. No, wait, hold on. No, let me just let me restart. The title of the video we're gonna watch is called Springtrap and Mangled, the weirdest FNAF series. And the video was made by Joey Does Shows. Well, his channel name is Joey Does Stuff. And this video is literally 1 hour. Now, after months ago, where I reacted to Crazy is Crazy Universe of the Red Universe, and after watching that Crazy Fox, Mangled, and Phantom Foxy, and after reacting to the collab, the Crazy, and Corporate Shepherd, and reacted to that other one, and I already reacted to some other two videos of Springtrap and Mangled, and I watched the other one is 1 hour, and the first one is 1 hour. And it's been like days and a week. I finished it all by myself, and today I need to know more about what happened to Quit. Well, I don't know what doggy meat means, but jeez, but I just need to know more about him, because it's been literally years. Like, I don't know what year it is. No, like 10 or 10 years? No. But anyway, this is the video I need to know more stories, because the comic. Hold on, let me look. Hold on, I know it's gonna be different right here. I know this is something else. Now, I know I was going to go to react to it, but a comic just answered. The comic just talked to me about this guy's channel, and he knows about it, because he told me this. Because I looked at the channel, and he said my God, this is like, yeah, it maybe is, but I know it was that comic here somewhere. It was in my phone, on my description. Hold on. I know it's something. Yeah. Let me check. I know it's here somewhere. No, it's not there. But I know this video got me long up, but I know this is super long, and I just trying to find this comic. Trying to find this other comic who just showed. Pause it. Okay. Now this user of this username, Daniel Garrett. I'll just have to say Daniel. Now, now, he said about this comic. Okay, so 13 days ago, he telling me about this YouTuber this. He says this. Well, let's have to skip the other part. Corporate Shepherd our channel same as Springtrap meets Mango episode 1 remake. A episode 8 and episode and 9. And unsteadily in 2029, 2020, corporate broke his computer and delete his videos. So this is what he told me. This is what he just said because that's what he did. So yeah, that kind of really happened. Like that's crazy. And then when I scroll down here, you see, because it is kind of weird, but he didn't tell me about the full story yet of his. But he didn't tell me about the full story of what happened. So I'm just gonna react to this YouTuber right here. Go to this YouTuber right here. Go by the name of Joe Does Stuff, and he knows the lore of this creator. So let's just play the video. All right. All right. Let's see.
In 2015, a certain game franchise was at its peak.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
Era. Such a darn long time. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot of old YouTubers.
This was at the time when FNAF was...
Yup. Had to do like an edited some kind of shit like that, am I had to apologize because I had to like take 3 of them to use the dang bathroom, but it took me that thing longer that I had think of it, not thought of it. But anyway, what back then when I was saying, I really gotta cut all that stuff of this live stream for this ending part. Man, the 2015 era was different back in the day when I was that teenager. Yep, 2015 was a moment when I was into high school and just all people when the Five Nights at Freddy franchise hitting until I had been
at its height before it went into a strange downward spiral. This was at the time when the FNAF wasn't as confusing as it was nowadays, and people thought the third game was the last one.
But I do also listen to some Five Nights at Freddy music though. I listen to Try Hard Ninja, DA Games, and Nukes Wants to Battle, and oh yeah, Living Tombstone. I've been seeing that 2014 song with the FNAF and that FNAF 2 part. They were great.
They were a lot of YouTubers has been popular because of FNAF, like Markiplier, Dogco, 8-Bit Ryan, you name it. However, we all know the more popular something is, the more toxicity could come with it.
This is only the beginning. I'm sure the growth is going to be exponential as time goes on, turning an already hideous fanbase into something worse, if that's even possible.
Yeah, despite being FNAF at its height, a lot of people hated the games. Now this could be just for people who don't get into the series, which is a fine statement, depends on the take though. However, the reason why people hated FNAF wasn't because of the games. It was more of the fandom. This is basically a common thing to media, and it still happens to this day. Especially when half of the FNAF community were kids. They would obviously go a little bit crazy every time someone makes a criticism to FNAF. And I can understand why, because some of those kids are really annoying. And then you have FNAF videos that were like this.
Am I the jerk for not wanting to share my secret with my friends? So I've been using this app called Benjamin that pays...
I try to hold on to...
What the heck? Yeah, a lot of these FNAF videos were like really popular, ranging from 100 million views.
Oh yeah,
that's insane,
7 years.
Which made a lot of YouTubers, especially animators, angry at these videos for getting attention, and it was even more toxic with the SFM community. But that's a story for another day. In fact, this was so hated that people proceed to make a cringe compilation. So many, in fact, that some of them feel like it's copy-pasted. Show something cringe and play Filthy Frank saying, "It's time to stop." By the way, I think this is the first time I know about Filthy Frank. I'm not joking. Anyway, this obviously died down until 2021, and even the word cringe has become cringe of itself. By the way, I really despise this take of hating something because it's popular. Look, Sonny, it's not the game's fault he got harassed by kids. With that being said, I used to watch these as a kid and I enjoyed all of them.
What?
Oh yeah, uh, and also yeah, that makes me the same because while I was like a teenager, while I was like 15, and I used to see some other YouTube FNAF animations. I've been seeing like Tony and that other YouTuber of what that other YouTuber's name though? Come on.
I used to watch these as a kid and I enjoyed all of them.
But
What?
it's this channel here. Venju37. I've been seeing his channel and I've enjoyed watching it. And Tony's animations. I'm enjoying it in high school in 2024.
I don't know why, but something about these videos made me like it a lot back then. I even stupidly thought some of them were canon until I realized, wait a minute, Chica doesn't actually lay eggs. Yes, this is real. Watching them now,
but I don't know why they're doing it.
I mean, yeah, some of these videos aren't.
But I don't know why this. Come on. I don't know why Chica laying an egg, because she's a full robot.
Exactly, peak content.
This attraction is great. So many guys I can.
But some of them at least try, and I had more fun watching these as a kid than what the fuck these videos kids watch these days. And while I'm gonna poke fun at some of them, I don't want to make fun of the people that made them. Take this video as more of a fun video, and if you grew up like me, you would probably have some nostalgic memories watching these. And I'm here to talk about one of them, and that is...
this guy, Springtrap and Mangle. Now I need to know what the story of it.
You might have known about this show before.
Now, right after I know about this channel, until I had to create my own channel and haven't made no other videos that day. So instead, I remember way back while I was making... I remember like I was making some other musics, and as some of them were literally copyrighted. I was like a teenage kid who just like upload some copyright music because I did not look at my email at the time and all that stuff. Yep, it were good days for me, and I remember I used to get more views, but some of them lower views I may get.
And if you didn't, let me explain.
Well, let's just talk about it.
This series follows, well, Springtrap and Mangle. And I have to clarify something. This series is nothing like the FNAF lore. Now, yeah, there are references to the lore, which I will talk about them. But yeah, it's nothing like the FNAF lore. I mean, for fuck's sake, it has SCP-173, and the restaurant's name is Freddy Fast Fuck. That's how you know it's nothing like the FNAF lore. By the way, the show is not made by C. Mangles. A lot of people assume this because she made a compilation of the series and had the fucking audacity to put her fucking name in the video. To be fair, she did credit the original creator, but why the fuck would you do that? Anyway, this series was made by Adrian Shepard, also known as, and had the fucking audacity to put her fucking name in the video. By the way, the show is not made by C. Mangles. A lot of people...
Yeah, cause there was... But yeah, though, then again, that's not for her. But that's not for her. She just made a compilations of her because she just wanted to make the full series of it. That's all she did.
Assume this because she made a compilation of the series and had the fucking audacity to put her fucking name in the video. To be fair, she did credit the original creator, but why the fuck would you do that? Anyway, this series was made by Adrian Shepard, also known as Corporal Shepard, also known as Mr. Dogamiti, and as of time for this recording, Quiet Tomato. My guy has changed so many names. At the beginning, his videos were just about Delta Force and Half-Life, until he released...
So, that was 8 years ago, he made his own gameplay through. He made his own gameplay through to 8 to 7 years, until the first time, 7 years, Chica feared.
His first animation on his channel called Chica's Fear. A short animation where Chica gets scared by the night guard eating a chicken. Now, this isn't his first animation he has ever done, but this is the first one he uploaded it on his channel. And believe it or not, it got his channel some attention. He also made this video where it shows Purple Guy's second fear. Being British, I mean purple. I mean pink.
I can't help it.
And if you wanna know how old these videos are, one video has a reference to The joke is so old now. And the ACP one literally has old PewDiePie reference and also uses this song.
Oh, no! It was an accident! I swear!
How could this happen to me? And then we get to the one that got him more famous in the FNAF community. Springtrap meets Mangle.
The first time.
Excuse me. Play you for those ultras? Well, we're kind of high level.
Springtrap meets Mangle.
The first animation. I've seen it years ago because I don't know
it begins
how
with Mangle getting up from the gift box. Springtrap greets her and she gets up, only to show that she has an exposed endoskeleton. And then makes Springtrap's eyes twitch for some reason. Anyway, he has a bright idea to fix Mangle by using a chainsaw.
5 minutes later.
Springtrap fixes her and is
this
accompanied
is the first,
with 3 royalty
but by the way,
music.
this is the first animation.
Mangle is happy about this, and then she proceeds to kiss Springtrap.
What the flip?
Very good so far, eh? Again, like I said, I'm not going to make fun of the creator. I just find this to be really funny. And it's even funnier when this has 2 million views, and basically started a ship between Springtrap and Mangle. Even Quiet Tomato thinks he's the one that started this ship. And just to be clear, they're not a couple. It's a trope of like a girl that falls in love with someone that doesn't like her. You know that shit. And I feel like he did a good job at it, at least. By the way, this episode actually got remade. And I'm gonna show you some of it, of course.
It was good. I seen it. This is such an old video. That face. Yeah, that's shocking. Yup. No problem. But I don't know why.
Anyway, let's move on to episode 2.
I don't know why Marinette
Springtrap is reading a newspaper that says Foxy married to Chica. What kind of newspaper company would put that? Oh, and also on the disc it says Chica's. What the fuck?
What the freak?
Anyway, Mangle asks him if she's hot. He says no because she's a toy animatronic. Okay, then explain why this is on your disc, buddy.
Bro, like, I've been literally been seeing 2015 of this animation, but I also been seeing lots of animation of Crazy of his work since 2020. I think like 2016, I think. I don't know.
He actually meant to say, is she sexy or hot? He says yes, making her faint, and then it ends.
To him, but until my...
This is the weirdest shit I have ever explained on this channel so far. And it's gonna get even weirder, trust me. Anyway, episode 3. Warning! Some of the scenes are maybe creepy. But enjoy. Okay. I mean, I already got creeped out. And guess what the music is gonna play in this scene? If you guessed 3 royalty music, then you are completely wrong.
Why is
Bet
this?
you didn't expect that, huh? Anyway, believe it or not, this series actually has a story. Mangle gets possessed by a soul, and it's implied that this happened before. The soul wants to kill Springtrap for some reason, and as they're about to go kill him, it hits 6:30 a.m. and the soul disappears. I have no clue why it's 6:30 a.m. instead of 6 full-on a.m., but whatever. The next day, a similar situation happens, but this time it's Springtrap, and he gets possessed, obviously, by Purple Guy. He proceeds to grab an axe to kill Mangle. Is the axe behind his hand? But again, it hits 6:30 a.m. and the soul also disappears. By the way, I want to mention that Mangle was looking at Springtrap's pics. Having that fucking mindset really fucks with me.
Yeah. I did not. No.
Episode 4 starts with Springtrap looking at Mangle. Foxy comes into the scene like a new player has entered the server. And also hear this great dialogue.
I just want to tell her something. If I say that to her, will be rated FF. I just voiced Springtrap. Okay, I'm going to tell
Springtrap goes to talk to her, and then he proceeds to tell Mangle that he likes her.
As a friend. That's
it goes
all
away,
I'd
but
say.
it didn't actually upset her, so yeah.
But she's gone crazy.
Episode 5 is actually a prequel to Episode 2, where Tochika seems to have a thing for Springtrap. Why is everyone horny in this suit? And her imprint changes from "Who is that cute bunny?" to question something, and then to
Gay Ben.
And then this happens.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on.
Also, the three fellas you just saw were Lockjaw from Return to Freddy's, Birthday Boy, and Flumpty from One Night and Funties. Kind of funny that they're in one scene together, considering the creators of these two games have done some interesting stuff. Springtrap tells them to stop, and then he shows what's under his mask.
Yeah.
I like how Flumpty is so shocked that his shell breaks. Tochika doesn't like this, but Mangle doesn't seem to be bothered by it and still thinks he's cute.
But I don't know why. I don't know why he made that scene, right?
Episode 6 is split into two bodies for some reason. Mangle lands on the floor and she looks like a carpet, and then this happens.
That's man.
Nice shot!
Mangle questions why Purple Guy was there, and he pretty much explains the same situation from FNAF 3. Purple Guy gets inside of the spring body suit, just to scare off the souls, and dies inside of his suit because of the spring lock mechanism. And now Purple Guy still haunts Springtrap, which he obviously didn't like.
She's not scared. Like I said.
Anyway, episode 7.
This is the part with Springtrap trying to tell
Springtrap goes to talk to Mangle about how witchy has been acting and even saw her with black eyes. She explains that she's possessed by a girl named Jennifer. Jennifer was a girl she met back in '87. Mangle was scared of her at first, assuming she's gonna destroy her, but it turns out that she's a big fan of Mangle. We see a small montage as Mangle explains her relationship with Jennifer. One moment we see her read this, and also we see Toy Freddy with a bikini, and it hurts my eyes.
Yeah, because that part when I had to like skip it because that literally hurt.
She sees Purple Guy before he runs away, which confuses her, and then she enters the room only to find that Jenny was killed by Purple Guy. Mangle is obviously sad about this, and then Mangle sees a plushie of herself next to the body. It was a gift made by Jennifer, and it explains that she will be moving away and wanted to give this to Mangle.
Hey, who left this bowl of onions here?
By the way, her full name is Jennifer Coffin. Yup, quite a bit to literally use Scott's last name for Jennifer, which may seem weird, but then again, he funded the Joy of Creation story mode where, spoiler alert, Scott Coffin dies in front of his family.
You are safe. That's all that matters.
Is that the real voice of Scott?
That's all that matters.
So this is basically fine. Mangle then calls the police, but as the police got there, the body has disappeared for unknown reasons. And Jennifer is still with Mangle to this day as a ghost. Oh, and by the way, Purple Guy's name is actually Vincent.
Francis.
Yup. If you don't know, before there was William Afton, the FNAF community called him Vincent. And there was a strange headcanon where he's actually a nice guy. And the killings were just a little trolling. Also, he likes bread? I never understood this, but he was basically the onceler of the FNAF.
So, I also eat bread too, because bread was my favorite a lot.
community. Thank God that died down. Kinda. Springtrap feels sorry for Mangle and says he will find Jennifer's body to free her, and Mangle promises to stop Vincent from taking control of Springtrap. Oh my god. That was a lot to take in 4 minutes. That's insane, not gonna lie. And as if it wasn't obvious enough, Jennifer is an original character made by Quiet Tomato. She literally originated from his first animation, and back then she didn't have a name, and used to draw her a lot on his notebook. A BTA, her. I didn't give her a name back then, but I always drew her a lot of times in my notebook. Instead, finally about in like 2014, I gave her a first name, Jennifer. This is when he posted June 16, 2020. Up until 2014, where he decided to give her a name. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, so now we get to episode 8 and 9. However, they're not on Quiet Tomato's channel, for some unknown reasons. So I will have to use C. Mangle's compilation. Oh, and by the way, I fixed the audio because for some reason it's misplayed. Yeah, it's just misplayed. Anyway, Springtrap goes to meet Toichika, and the first thing she says is, "Hey, cousin." He mentions the incident to Toichika and asks where the body could be, but she doesn't know. And then the Fredbear plushie says he knew this whole time where the body is because he witnessed Vincent carrying the body and presses something on the wall and it opens a secret room, implying that this fucker knew about this whole time and didn't say anything for decades. This is Spider-Man 3 level of fighting bullshit.
I loved your father. As I have loved you, Harry.
Who the hell is this guy?
Also, Blushtrap keeps yelling shit while they have this conversation. Fredbear Plushie then opens the secret room, which by the way is conveniently placed next to him. By the way, Toichika, why do you have this on your imprint? Anyway, they proceed to go down, and inside is the bloody room with purple messages, implying that he regretted killing Jennifer. There's also a bloody box, which they find in the room, and Springtrap makes a chicken joke. I don't know. I don't know why he say that. It's right in front of her. She don't like it. So they open the box, and this scene scared the shit out of me as a kid. Yeah, it's super loud. Like fucking hell, man. Jesus. You didn't have to do this to me. Also, I like how they showed the dead body for a split second. I don't know, it seems really creative to me on how they presented it. Yes, I'm giving it a praise for the same show that showed this a few minutes ago. Mangle asks Foxy how to get rid of Vincent from controlling Springtrap, and Foxy gives her his old guitar that he played back in Fredbear's family diner, because it always reminds him of good memories. Meanwhile, Springtrap tells Toichika to get out so he can burn the body, and just as he's gonna do it, it hits 12 a.m., and Vincent takes control of Springtrap. Mangle goes to the secret room thinking Springtrap is in here. How did she know that? I don't know, Fredbear might have told her. And then Springtrap shows up looking like this. Yup. Very nightmarish.
Hello, my dear.
Episode 9 begins with Mangle and injury, and we see more of Springtrap with a face in his chest?
That's weird, though.
Then. And she acknowledges that he's not cute anymore.
No shit!
She tells Vincent to leave Springtrap alone, but he doesn't give a fuck and throws her to the wall. And just as he's gonna kill her, he sees the guitar on the floor, and when he grabs it, he seems to remember it. And then we see a flashback of Springtrap's all-time at Family Diner, accompanying it with Sandman's theme from Spider-Man 3.
But it is copyrighted though. If it was, I'll mute this video.
That's twice I mentioned Spider-Man. Holy shit. I mean, I can't blame him for using this music because they slap as fuck. But then we get to the by the face stuff and it looks, why this looks so funny to me? I can't believe I'm laughing at this. Anyway, sorry. He now remembers everything and then he screams. He goes back to his normal form, and then Jennifer shows up and looks at Mangle. She takes control of Mangle and gets behind Springtrap. He says he didn't do it, but she doesn't trust him. So she also turns Mangle into a nightmare one. And I gotta say, this transition is good, I guess. Especially with the tongue part. I know this animation isn't the best and also not consistent, but gotta be honest, this looks better than any garbage cartoon adult shows. At least he tried to be good at it, even better later on, so you're gonna have to give him a break for that. By the way, the music that is being played in this scene is actually from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I have to skip the transformations. I have to skip the transformations.
And tries to reach to the lighter. He does, and we get this exchange.
Then
Springtrap finally frees Jennifer, which they proceed to scream.
And then she can rest.
After what happened, both of them goes outside of the balcony, and Mangle thanks him for freeing Jennifer. Mangle asks for a kiss. He says yes sarcastically, but she kisses him anyway. Yay! They finally kissed! Off screen, but still! We then cut to a minigame scene where they talk to Jenny. This scene is kind of bizarre, but I assume he's trying to do a FNAF 4 Night 6 ending kind of moment. It even has the same music for the ending. Mangle tells that Springtrap is a good guy, and he was possessed by Vincent. She didn't know that, and apologizes, but they forgive her cause she didn't know anyway. She finally goes to her rest with one more hug from Mangle. She leaves and says goodbye to Mangle as it fades away.
Yup. That's the last time they see her. Or did. I was going to say something like. And that was the last time she see her. Or did they?
As I explained before, but it's just fun to talk about the weird shit and its story. And I always enjoyed watching this series like many other FNAF series. And wait a minute.
Or
you think it's over? Honey, don't you know?
Nah.
We're done.
Nope.
When I say we're done.
Yeah, considering Quite Tomato literally said that the 9th episode is the last one, literally 1 month later, he announces the second season. Springtrap and Mangle.
The first creation. First he created.
Back in 1987, one day before Jenny's death, Purple Guy is next to Jenny's mom, Samantha, and both of them know each other from kindergarten. Also, I find it funny that Purple Guy looks like this and nobody questions it. Quite Tomato did work on this design, but still, it's a little funny.
Yeah, it is. What is this?
Then we go back to present day, 10 years after Jenny's soul was freed. We then see an introduction of Springtrap and Mangle with GTA 2 music. I like how after 10 years, he reads the same newspaper with a similar headline. Also, check out this fantastic line. Really? How can you be tired when you're just sitting your ass over there, read some fast fuck news, and smoke weed? Martin Scorsese has got nothing on the script. Episode 2 starts back again in 87. This time we see the aftermath of Jenny's death. Purple Guy regrets killing her because he thought it was a random kid. That's somehow worse, I guess? Back to present, Mangle decides to do a little trolling and puts her nudes on the newspaper to scare off Springtrap. Except it's just her with endoskeleton.
And that made him freaked out.
also on a nice news headline that says Half-Life 4.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening!
12 hours later, Springtrap does the same thing, but this time calling Mangle for a chocolate cake, but it turns out to be just kids that want to have a nice conversation.
But demonitor.
The kids pretty much fucks her up, and Mangle decides to take revenge on Springtrap and punches him.
Oh.
Springtrap jumps on her, and we get this lovely image.
And it was awkward.
Howdy doody.
And it's awkward.
If I keep my eyes open, he will go away. I shit you not, Quiet Tomato literally used this frame for a thumbnail in one of his announcement videos, and the title is
Clickbait.
The Ultimate Clickbait. That's a little funny, not gonna lie. Anyway, oh, for fuck's sakes, another missing episodes. I don't understand why. Again. So I have to keep you same Mangle's video.
Yeah.
Again. We go back to 87. Again. And we see Mangle and Sam witnessing Jenny's dead body. Both of them are upset, and Purple Guy is hiding from them. Later on, Sam sees Purple Guy with blood on his shirt, and his name has changed from Vincent to Hector. I'm gonna be honest with you, this guy does not look like someone named Hector. But hey, that's just me. Sam questions why he got blood on his shirt, and as Hector struggles to explain, Sam forces him to tell her the truth, and he basically confesses that he killed her daughter. Obviously shocked by this, Sam gets upset at Purple Guy for what he has done, and out of nowhere she pulls a gun on him. Purple Guy begs not to shoot him, however Sam couldn't do it, and as she says she will be back, she slapped herself.
Yeah. News is copyrighted.
Yes, she actually slit herself. And we just saw Heavy from TF2 a few seconds ago. So seeing is also in the same show is really bizarre. Hector is shocked by this, but he turns from shock into laughter.
And smiled like it was enjoy.
And then we cut to Mangle making funny faces. This show is a gold mine of confusion, and it's gonna get even weirder. Anyway, Sam shows up at the mirror and takes control of Mangle, which makes me question where the hell she has been this whole time. This never gets explained, by the way. We then cut to Springtrap talking to Blushtrap about why he punched Blush Mangle, and it's a reference to this shot by Quiet Tomato. And I'm gonna show you.
I remember this scene though, 6 years ago. It was 6 years. It was still funny. I didn't add the music.
A fun and easy way to make
come on, another ad.
Choose your own hours. Get paid to deliver.
I hate the ad part. Strike.
I don't know why he punched her for. Has a perfect response to that.
You serious,
He goes
bro?
to see what's going on, and yup, Mangle is turned back into this.
No. I know this scene. I just need to skip it.
Adrian Shepard, which is a reference to a character
Okay, he
from
didn't
a
show
Half-Life
it.
spin-off.
Okay,
Adrian?
I'm not gonna be showing it. Infinite release November 1999. BTW. This game actually came out at Quick Potato's birthday. Oh.
Coincidence? I think not.
And this guy is Mark, who is also known as Crazy is Crazy. He's another YouTuber.
I've been seeing this dude channel years now.
But that makes similar content like Quiet Tomato, with his Crazy Mangle and Phantom Foxy series.
Already seen that.
And obviously Mark and Quiet Tomato.
And the dude's like, get the F out.
Are friends to the point where they actually made a special crossover between each other. However, this special crossover is actually not canon. You will see why later. And also, you may wonder, why is he green, even though his avatar is white? Well, that's because Quiet Tomato is colorblind and mistakenly colored him green. But his avatar is white? Look, man, I'm not an eye doctor, so I don't know how this works. Springtrap assumes it's Jenny, but it's just Sam and...
No.
What's going on with the...
Not Jennifer, it's Sam.
Here. Mark is confused about this, and Quiet Tomato literally explains it to him. I don't know, it's kind of hilarious that he...
10 years Mangle turning into a nightmare because she was possessed by a very angry, very
himself
spirit.
Into the serious. But then again, I did the same thing, but I don't want to talk about that ever. Anyway, Purple Guy takes control of Springtrap and turns into a nightmare. I actually like this design in here than the one we saw back in season 1.
Hold on. Just like the last time.
Oh look, he's white now. Sam is down on the floor, and while Purple Guy is about to kill her, she kicks his balls.
Yeah, that hurt.
My vegetables!
Sorry. She kind of messed that up.
And gets closer. That's a nice callback. And of course, it hit 6 a.m. And yes, the time where they actually go away has been retconned. It's better this way. Both of them promises to meet each other again, and then they go back to normal.
But I got really one question though. After Samantha shot herself, what did Hector do with the real body of Samantha? Because after seeing she gets shot herself and see the laughter, what did she do? What did he do with her body? It's somewhere in this place.
Glad you said that, Springtrap, because this show name, Springtrap and Mangle, is short for Sam. Shocker, I know. I mean, come on, it's even more obvious when you look at the colors.
Hey.
Samantha is in the background and still plans to kill Purple Guy. In the next episode, it is the AUC version, and that stands for Anti-Undertale Characters. No, I'm not joking. In the original episode, there was an extended cameo of Undertale characters, with Undyne, Alphys, Papyrus, and
Sans Undertale!
They even show up in the later episodes, by the way. The reason why Quiet Tomato decided to ditch them, because the viewers didn't like it. And if you may wonder why did he even add them in the first place, but also added TF2 characters and SCP-173? Well, there is an actual explanation to that. In one of Quiet Tomato's tweets, Springtrap and Mangle was literally going to become a multiverse.
To think that Wii series is going to be a little multiverse of madness before slowly turning into a normal second season of Springtrap meets Mangle.
Before turning it into a normal second season of Springtrap meets Mangle. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, this series is way crazier than Multiverse of Madness. While showing this really low quality image, the reason why SCP-173 is in the show is because originally, Quiet Tomato was going to do a series about SCP that takes place in the same universe as Springtrap and Mangle. Hell, even with this image, you can see some SCP characters in there. However, I'm not sure who these are, to be honest. And as for TF2 and Undertale characters, they were just thrown in there. So yeah, that's why. Just an excuse to make this video even longer. Anyway, let's continue.
Now Mr. Doggy is suddenly changes. Episode 5, Mangle's Quest 2.
So in this episode, Mangle plays a game called Mangle Quest 2. With the main goal is to get the chocolate cake from Springtrap. The first enemy she encounters is Tangle, a reference to a character from FNAF World Halloween Edition.
That was funny, but cool though.
Damn good television.
By the way, I have to give credit to Quiet Tomato for trying to replicate the FNAF minigames. Hell, it's kind of close to Sister Location minigames. And this episode came out before Sister Location. Then Mangle encounters Markiplier?
Feet. Oh, I'm gonna just be sucking.
Nah, it's just some random guy named Red Foxy. And I assume that he's a YouTuber, but I couldn't find anything about him, so that sucks. He points to where the cake is, and as she gets close to the cake, Springtrap takes it and is followed up with a chase. Now, what was gonna happen next in this scene is that Undertale cameo I mentioned before. So he replaced it with something nice.
Wait a minute, I didn't see that.
Now, what was gonna happen next in this scene is that Undertale cameo I mentioned before. So he replaced it with something nice.
Oh, that's Shadow Bonnie.
What the hell is this place? As she goes more into hell with this creepy music, she finds, well, yes, Very. Mangle questions why there's dead robots in here, and they're basically the kids that died back in 87. Okay, so while I was reading the script, I realized that I forgot to mention something important. As I mentioned before, this is nothing like the FNAF lore, and if it wasn't obvious enough, there are no dead kids inside of the animatronics. But why should I explain it when I could let the creator himself explain it? And he also explains the situation between Purple Guy and Springtrap.
Why is Springtrap or William acting, well, neutral towards everyone? Isn't
this
he
is his
the
real
killer?
voice?
Yes, that is right, but what you're seeing is just a normal self, and Springtrap isn't a Spring Bonnie self. Meaning that all of the animatronics in this timeline had like two personalities. One is their normal programmed self, and the other one is their behavior while being possessed and controlled by the souls of the dead children. They have this tradition that they could run or avoid from these souls. They get active at 12 a.m. and then aggressively at 3 a.m. But it is no good for Springtrap, since William's soul is too powerful to resist.
Shadow Freddy tells her that she will see her cinnamon roll again, and he also tells her that there's a bunch of group robots that wants to take control of the pizzeria, and they're making something that looks like her but mangled. And then he just sends Mangle back up.
Teleport where she went to. Teleport where she belongs.
Remember this. Springtrap is trapped and gives up the cake after Mangle surrounds him, and she wins the game on the most generic game console. What is this? Fuck it, VHS.
The animation looks great too.
Shadow Freddy then appears on screen and tells Mangle not to tell anyone about this. And then the episode ends with Foxy eating a chicken. Don't even ask me how they eat.
The
just
same
go
thing
along
he
with
did
it.
6 years ago. Jennifer Reincarnation.
Episode 6 starts with Dr. Kleiner? Oh, and
Dr.
Barney?
Oh, that's
Half-Life exists in this series?
Oh, that's when he got the
I know
character
this is like the
name from
10th
the
time I
game
have
he
questioned
got.
random ass cameos, but did you really think these two would be in here? Anyway, Kleiner made a machine that makes anything old look like what it's supposed to be. He does a demonstration with an old Rusty book released back in 1969.
Such a beautiful number!
He tries it out and it obviously works. The next thing he brings is a box full of dust. Barney asks where did he find this, and Kleiner tells him he got it from the old Freddy's restaurant at the basement 4 years ago, and is curious as to what it is. He turns on the machine to do its job, however the machine starts to malfunction, and both of them get away from it before it explodes.
They reincarnated her from the dead.
Kleiner is sad about the machine getting destroyed, and when he goes to see what happened to the dust, you guessed it, he sees Jenny's dead body. Both of them are pretty sad at this, so Kleiner tells Barney to bring some mechanical arms to bring her back. And this happened back in 2027, and it apparently took 5 years to bring her back, I think. We cut to Mangle trying to find her bow tie, but she doesn't know it's on her head. Springtrap doesn't like the sight of her ass. Why would you even look at it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Assumes he's into her, and he's just denying it. Foxy goes to meet them for help because Tochika found out that he eats chicken, and the one that told her were FNAF fans. Why would you trust FNAF fans? Did you see what happened recently? Tochika comes in like Mr. X and grabs Foxy, asking him if he ate the chicken, and when he says yes, she then asks, was it delicious?
What?
Tochika is Hannibal Lecter. Meanwhile, we meet Shrek's son, reading and grabs Foxy, asking him if he ate the chicken, and when he says yes, she then asks, was it delicious?
What?
Tochika is Hannibal Lecter. Meanwhile, we meet Shrek's son, reading an interesting news headline. And then we meet Jeb, another character by Crazy is Crazy, and his whole character is that he sells drugs. Then he points at a girl with mechanical arms. guys she's like 8 or something. They call her out, and when she turns around, they get shocked because of her face. Though it's just a Halloween mask. They then ask her, what is she doing here in the middle of the night? She says she's here to remember her memories with Mangle. They then tell her that they know her and says that she's in the pizzeria right now, which makes her really happy. We cut back to Mangle still looking for the bow tie, to which Jenny gives it to her, and she thanks her until she realizes that it
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the fact that this is more impactful than any garbage movies nowadays is kinda funny, not gonna lie.
Who the F are you? I already seen this part 7 years ago of the Fredbear. So
Episode 7 starts with this random warning. Most of the stuff in here are stuff we have seen before, but then there's shit like
Christmas is in a week! Woohoo!
No Dr. Fox Endgame, which is basically the song that played at the end of episode 6.
And the music
Feels?
Feeling.
And stupid Undertale soundtrack. I'm sorry, stupid. Oh, and this show actually has an intro. And it's fine. The only thing I want to mention about this intro is this shot right here. It looks like the same location back in season 1. And also there's a book named Elliot's Adventure. No clue what that is. And also the newspaper says, where the fuck is part 10 Tony? And I think that's a reference to Tony Krynight's FNAF series. Which coincidentally has Springtrap and Mangle, but they're not as lighthearted as this show. I straight up know this, by the way, because I also used to watch his videos. And finally, this scene seems to imply to be a Halloween special, but it seemed that it never came out.
Fredbear returns. This was years ago. I can't really remember, but I did remember.
The episode starts in a Christmas party, and then it cuts to Mark talking to SCP-173. I want a hug. Okay. But Plushtrap hugs him instead, and he tells Mark to keep his eyes on SCP-173, just not to kill them. Please don't blink, please don't blink, please. Mangle then asks how Kleiner revived her, and Jenny explains what we already know.
Cool.
Springtrap looks at his old photo of him and Fredbear before Mangle scares him. After Mangle sees the picture, the power goes down. Mangle and Jenny proceeds to go to the fuse box to bring the power back up. 1 hour and a weird cutaway gag later, they still didn't find the power room until she finally remembers that she has a flashlight this whole time. And when she turns it on, they see someone greeting them.
Yup. She was Jennifer reminded of her mother, Samantha.
Look, I know you motherfuckers are gonna laugh at this idea of her imagining a furry being her mom, but shut the fuck up, this is in character. They get in and asks who he is. And when he comes close to them, it turns out to be Fredbear, but rotten, and still has the crying child's blood on his mouth. And it's revealed that he just woke up from a 45-year nap. He still regrets after what he has done to the restaurant, but Jenny calms him down by telling him that it was the bully's fault. Mangle then tells him that Springtrap, or Spring Bonnie, is here, which makes him really happy about this. 1 hour later, again, does it really take an hour to get there? We cut to Papyrus talking about Sans falling in love with a clone of Asgore, which is actually Toriel, but he doesn't know. The one who corrects him is the Giving Bandit, and I assume that there's some YouTuber, but I couldn't find anything about them other than shitty Fortnite-looking ass videos. Fredbear calls Springtrap, which surprises him, and both of them then proceed to...
It was crazy because the first one, Jennifer reincarnated. Well, yeah, reincarnated, and Mangle and Jennifer reunited and friends, and then Springtrap's brother partner, and his well, I don't know, I just have to say brother though, and now his brother reunited. It's just like you miss someone so many years, like you missed them so long, and you forget. It's just so. Oh my god, I don't know what really I have to say, but geez.
hug each other. After that reunion, Springtrap thanks Mangle for finding Fredbear, and all of them goes to celebrate Christmas together.
That's a family.
And then it cuts to the credits, where it shows some images. Like how Mark is still looking at SCP-173, Jib is running away from someone that could be either a character from Crazy is Crazy or Quiet Tomato himself.
Dang!
Springtrap getting a new change. Like how Mark is still looking at SCP-173, Jib is running away from someone that could be either a character from Crazy is Crazy or Quiet Tomato himself.
Bam!
Springtrap getting a new chainsaw, and Jenny and Mangle making a snowman of Fredbear, and many more. Also, the episode actually ends like this.
Flower to flower. John Cena! Oh my god. I know. This freaking meme, bro. I don't know why they had to end
but believe it or not, we're not done with this episode yet, cause Quiet Tomato literally remastered it years later, and holy shit, it looks like a big improvement from his old animation. It's more alive than before, with some nice presentations.
It's so good though, but I have not seen this until my channel had removed or determinated.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
The episode itself follows similar stuff from the
original,
original,
even
with some
Mark
differences,
too.
such as Dr. Kleiner and Barney seem to be replaced with new characters, I think. There's some details like the SCP fan outside, implying that SCP Foundation risked themselves to release 173 to Freddy Fazfuck. That makes it even weirder, but okay. There are scenes in here that are similar from the original, but some of them are completely different. Cool. Like this scene where Springtrap is looking at a picture of him and Fredbear. This time, Springtrap tells a story about how after the incident, they took him away from Family Diner, but didn't take Fredbear with them, which resulted in him living alone in a room for the rest of his life. And we all know what happened after that. They do kinda show this later on, but I just wanna mention it. Speaking of Springtrap and Fredbear, the scene where they meet each other after years is a lot better than the original. I'm gonna play this scene in full, because me explaining it wouldn't do justice to this scene.
So good. What a reunion.
Look, I know the voices are weird, especially when Fredbear's voice is Nightmare Fredbear's laugh from FNAF 4.
I was gonna like voice. I was gonna do a voice from Springtrap, or I was gonna do a voice from Fredbear, but
though if you are a FNAF veteran, this shit sounds like he says "help me." And the ending is also different, with Jenny putting a mistletoe above Springtrap and Mangle, which leads to this hilarious scene.
You little brat, you sneaky brat. You can hear him
I think this is my favorite running gag in the entire show. And hey look, Freddy Fazbear himself shows up for the first time. Though I question where the hell was he in the entire series, considering that this is his own restaurant, but whatever. So yeah, it's the same episode with a lot of improvements. Also, he did the same thing with Chica's Fear.
Ate his chicken, and it kept... I can't believe he come back for this.
Anyway, let's go back to the old shit. Yup, as I expected, it starts with another warning. But
I graduated from high school and
seems to be the last time we're gonna see Undertale characters. But
so
don't worry guys,
my channel
Dr. Fox
got
Endgame is back.
terminated a second time. Surely she came back.
Huh, that is some nice music you got there.
Answer questions.
Mangle looks at the mirror again, but this time she questions herself about how she couldn't get Springtrap as her boyfriend, and then questions why she's talking to herself. But then we see her turn into black.
Whoa!
It's Jennifer.
Was that blackface, dude?
Nah, I'm just kidding, it's just Sam. I do like that transition though. That's a nice touch, not gonna lie. Sam seems to be disappointed at Mangle for liking Springtrap, and then she proceeds to take control of her.
And this is a remaster, by the way.
But that turned out to be just her imagination. Also, if you look for a split second, you can see Mangle's face turn into...
Bro.
I swear I did not
I don't know why he edited
tells
that.
Fredbear about that crazy is crazy series ends in episode 14. And I think he's talking about the crossover I mentioned before, meaning that this isn't canon. See, I told you. Mangle goes to talk to Springtrap and she tells him about Sam returning. She does explain to him that it was a hallucination, which pisses him off and tells her to stop thinking about her to stop her hallucinations. Yeah, sure, buddy. That's how it works. She agrees and leaves.
Thank God that crazy fucker's gone.
However, she then tells him one more thing. Foxy told her about Springtrap having the ability to turn anyone into a phantom. Springtrap says it's true, and then she makes this cursed face. And as always, she begs him to do it.
What? Hey, no. No. Fine.
And for a split second, we see Phantom Mangle from Crazy is Crazy series. Springtrap asks
Give
for
me
her
your
hand so he can turn her into a
I'm just
phantom,
do
and she
voice
acts
from
like a white
Springtrap.
fangirl holding his hand. He
Jesus
tells her to
Christ.
stop
Hey,
shaking,
man,
and he
would
slowly
you-
turns
oh
her
my
into
God.
a
I'm trying to
phantom.
voice- I was
Springtrap
trying to do a
asks
voice
for her
edit.
hand so he can turn her into a phantom, and she acts like a white fangirl holding his hand. He tells her to stop shaking, and he slowly turns her into a phantom. She kind of freaks out, but he calms her down
Calm
and asks
down.
her to go through
Now,
that
why
wall.
are
She
we-
does go through it and gets excited to scare someone. Though Springtrap tells her that she got an
1
hour,
hour.
and if she doesn't come back into the restaurant,
She became a phantom forever. That was sent. That was sent. That was Vincent's controlling. Now go now before
as I
you run
mentioned
out of
before,
time.
Purple God's soul is too powerful to handle. While obviously he wouldn't be able to take control of Springtrap at the morning, he still somehow managed to take control of Springtrap for a split second. 58 minutes later, he finds Rick, another crazy character, and scares him to the point he comically smashes under a plane called Get Dunked On Airlines. Gee, I hope nothing bad happens to that airplane. She sees the watch that Rick dropped, and it shows that she has only 1 minute to get back
it's been
while
1
we get a
hour.
Madagascar reference. Fortunately, she gets back in time. Well, kinda, cause she gets stuck in the wall. Jenny checks on her, and after Mangle explains how she got here, she sees the chocolate cake next to Springtrap. She cries like a baby, but Jenny helps her with her robotic arm.
That's pretty cool. My
Sam
child.
shows up in the background, planning to kill both of them, but then she sees Jennifer. She thinks it's impossible and closes her eyes, assuming it's a hallucination, but conveniently she goes away because of Toy Bonnie. She opens her eyes and she thinks she's right about it before Fredbear accidentally
Who are
spots her.
you? You see nothing. Well, he just did see you.
Okay, before we move on to episode 9, there's a short explaining another short from season 1 about how Torchica laid an egg.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I know. Foxy and Toy Chica are hanging out, while her cheeks look like they're about to melt. She asks Foxy to bang, and it's exactly what you expect. A shootout between them.
Yep. Dang. Oops.
Tochika goes out with her imprint saying something interesting. It begins to rain and she notices that Flumpty is alone outside and sad. And also there's 2 broken eggs, which means someone killed his parents. This is the kind of shit I expect from the Flumpty's games, not gonna lie. She brings him home and Foxy comes to her asking where did she find him. And for some reason she lies and says she made it.
Can you repeat that again?
But Foxy is actually happy about Tochika laying an egg. He even protects this fucking line from Kings of the Monsters.
Oh my god, Zilla.
Frumpy.
Well, that sure was important. Yup, this is getting really long. Buckle yourselves up, because we are entering a 3-parter. With a couple of shorts, of course.
Alright. Episode 9, Stories Part 1. I've already seen the stories of it. A lot.
The episode starts with Mangle sleeping at the kids' cove. The alarm starts making sounds, and she reacts in the most responsible way.
This is the time clock. Yeah, if that would be me, I would destroy it, my alarm clock. Well, why?
Mangle hears a bizarre sound, so she looks behind and sees someone before they go away. And man, I wonder what the kids drew in here.
Stop staring at me with them big old eyes.
You wanted America, so I got it. Just be glad this series didn't come out today. We got to Mangle. Wait a minute, why does it look like this? It's a strange art style choice, and I'm not sure what quite Emmett was going for. She follows the figure around the pizzeria, and when she got it, she sees 2 of them. Their names are Mad Jack and Security, and they're also from FNAF World Halloween Edition. So they teleport away, making Mangle confused. We then cut to Springtrap talking to Fredbear, and we see that Fredbear has been fixed, and that's because the engineers fixed him. Mangle asks if she could sit with them, and even though Springtrap tells her not to, Fredbear allows her to sit with them, making Springtrap angry at him. Fredbear then proceeds to embarrass Springtrap by showing how he looked like back then. Which Mangle proceeds to make wild fangirl noises. I mean, not gonna lie, this shit is gay as hell. Foxy comes in here, sweating for some reason, and sits with them. Then he tells that Mangle's original name is Funtime Foxy, making her also embarrassed and making Springtrap happy.
So, they're really doing nothing. They just sit there, just sit quiet, just talk. So...
Springtrap is bored as fuck, so he suggests anyone to tell a story. Mangle wants to tell a story from 1987, which surprises Springtrap about how she know everything that happened back in 87. So she tells a story of how she met Samantha. We get a small conversation of Fredbear and Foxy not knowing Samantha, and Purple Guy randomly says I know her, which confuses Springtrap as to what just happened. We see Mangle back when she was broken. She says she was all alone by herself, and the animatronics couldn't talk to her because they were having fun entertaining kids. Damn. Also nice detail with the 3 kids being a younger version of Mark, Quiet Tomato, and the Gaming Beta. And also some random bitch. What is this? How am I supposed to get the reference? Anyway, Mangle hears about a new night guard coming in the restaurant. So she checks who it is, and it turns out that Sam used to work back at the pizzeria. And also the hallway seems to indicate to be the FNAF 2 office, which makes sense considering where this takes place. Mangle gets to see her name tag this far somehow, but okay. She reads it out loud, causing Sam to catch her in the hallway. Sam asks if there's an animatronic there, but Mangle faints and falls down to the ground. Sam goes to check on her, and she gets confused as to what just happened to her. We cut somewhere deep down the pizzeria. We see a figure that is obviously Chipper from FNAF World, and also Chipper's and Sons, a game made by Scott before he made Five Nights at Freddy's. He asks Bubba, who's from FNAF World, if there's anything he wanted to say, and he talks about Mad Jack and Security using the teleporter without permission. He's surprised by this and asks them to come and explain to him. Security used it out of curiosity, and Mad Jack used it to follow her. He tells them next time to ask for permission before using the teleporter. Bouncer, another FNAF World character, asks Chibber if he should go and attack the four animatronics, which he allows him to do with Papa and Porkchop, but he wouldn't allow Mad Jack and security to go because of them using the teleporter without permission. Mad Jack questions why they need to attack them instead of becoming friends with them, but the episode ends here before we get an answer.
Because you don't think about hurrying them, being friends with them.
And as you remember before, this is what Shadow Freddy was stunning Mangle about. Before we move on to episode 10, I want to show you these two shorts about the series. This one was made just to give a scene between Jenny and Sam together, considering we didn't see them talk to each other before. It's a flashback when Jenny was upset at a bully for destroying her Mangle plushie, and she wants to kick his ass for that. Sam doesn't like this and tells Jenny that while revenge could feel good, it doesn't solve all of the problems and it could make the situation even worse.
Oh, the irony! It's too much!
Jenny agrees with her and Sam tells her that she's gonna fix the plushie, which makes Jenny happy and thanks her. The other one is called his...
But she's not wrong, but she's right. Taking of revenge is not gonna solve anything. It's always gonna get things worse.
Story, and it's made to explain some stuff for the later episodes. It's basically showing us what happened to the Bite of 83, with a new purple guy design, which he looks like he came from the 1800s, and also showing the crying child and Michael for the first time. Now if you played FNAF 4, you already know how it goes. Michael and his friends proceeds to grab crying child and tries to give Fredbear a big kiss for him.
But they made a mistake.
By the way, the bite looks better than what we saw back in season 1. Purple guy goes to check what's going on and sees his own son on Fredbear's mouth. Michael runs away from the situation and goes to his home, packing some stuff, wearing a disguise, and leaves. Purple guy goes to where Michael went, and he sees Michael's message to him apologizing for what happened. 3 days later, Michael visits his brother in the hospital bed, and he apologizes for what he has done and leaves before Purple guy comes in, as we hear crying child's flatline announcing his death.
But he died.
Attention all music lovers. I have a quiz for you. Do you listen to music while walking the dog? Do you listen to music...
Line announcing his death.
Dang. My son is gone. The other one is missing. I'm all alone.
Meanwhile, we hear Fredbear and Spring Bonnie talking to each other about the incident. Fredbear blames himself for the incident, but Spring Bonnie says it wasn't his fault.
Wait.
Meanwhile, we hear Fredbear and Spring Bonnie.
Dude, why are you saying sorry all this time?
Talking to each other about the incident. Fredbear.
It was all my fault. That restaurant was closed because of me.
Blames himself for the incident, but Spring Bonnie.
No, you just doing your job out there. Nothing wrong with that. Bro, what do you mean nothing wrong with that? The kid is dead and got killed from the Fredbear's jaw. How you mean there's nothing wrong with that?
He says it wasn't his fault and it was all...
Those goddamn bullies are the reason why the restaurant's closed.
Because
not
of the bullies.
You.
Fredbear thinks he's...
I heard that they gonna take me away. They will put me into some basement, into a replacement,
gonna get separated,
different place.
Because he heard that they're gonna put him in a basement and taking Spring Bonnie with them. He thinks that's a lot of bullshit and promises to never leave him. But we all know what happened after that.
Thanks.
Also, I just realized that the guy that bullied Jenny was actually Michael this whole time. At least I think, with the similar designs and the foxy head next to him. Episode 10 actually starts with a different intro, with it being an 8-bit version of Springtrap and Mangle dancing to a waltzing grommet music. And I used to grow up watching this, so this makes me even more nostalgic. However, the intro slowly shifts to creepiness, with the scene starting to change for a split second multiple times. One shows the souls crying for help, and the others is Sam talking shit to Springtrap and Mangle.
Trash, garbage. Where did she
And also
go?
in the upper left corner, you can see the title get replaced to Welcome to Hell. And it's a reference to episode 5 when that message showed up as Mangle enters hell in the game. And finally, after the title card, we get a, I guess you could call a jump scare. This image is actually another reference to episode 5, when we see Fredbear or one of the Soul's dead body hanged in there. I swear these details makes the show look like an avant-garde shit. We cut back to Mangle's story as we hear this music. This is also from Wallace and Gromit, mainly A Grand Day Out. In fact, this song is so good that I used it in my own show.
Hey Stingray, I'm gonna need your help down here.
Mangle wakes up from her faint, and then she realizes that her endoskeleton has been fixed. As it turns out, Sam is the one that fixed her endoskeleton, and she reveals that she's a friend with the CEO of the restaurant. She asked Fred for a job as an engineer, but instead he gave her a job as a security guard, which obviously she didn't enjoy working at. Mangle thanks her for fixing her endoskeleton, and then they proceed to have a conversation. 9 hours later, Sam's shift is over and says she will come back tomorrow, but she realizes that she wouldn't work tomorrow because Jeremy is taking over her shift. Who was the night guard from FNAF 2? Mangle questions how she's gonna come tomorrow without working, and that's because her daughter wants to come to Freddy's tomorrow. Mangle was scared about her daughter doing the same thing as the kids did to her, but she was wrong about it, and as she's going to explain why, Mangle then proceeds to have a fucking spider sense, assuming something really cold is coming. And as it turns out, Bouncer is here and tries to shoot them with snowballs, but they dodge all of them. Mangle seems to know him before and is preparing to shoot him again, but Fredbear gets up and gets close to Bouncer. Bouncer proceeds to shoot Fredbear's face, but conveniently he ran out of snowballs. And then Fredbear proceeds to do this.
The Biden 87. Took the weapons. You're a weapon, now you armless.
Holy shit, no wonder why that kid died. Bouncer teleports away and promises Fredbear that he will get them next time. And then Springtrap has a random flashback back then when he was taken away.
Yup. Yep. I'm starting to remember everything.
After that shit, Mangle continues her story. We see her preparing to meet Sam's daughter. However, the kid sees her fixed, and then they proceed to destroy her. These kids are so fucked up. One kid shows up, and Mangle assumes that they're gonna destroy her.
First time. She's not one. Until then, she's not one of those kids.
But obviously it turns out to be Jenny hugging Mangle, which gets her out of surprise. We then cut to Hector going to the restaurant. He's here because it's been a while since he came here. He then asks Jeremy where is Fritz, but he doesn't know, though Hector assumes he's eating Balloon Boy's donut. He then opens one of the doors, and then the episode ends with Sam and Hector recognizing each other.
Dr. Bartlett? Samantha? I don't know why he changed the name, but the other part, he just said Hector and some...
Oh yeah, there's also post-credit scene, where it shows that Chipper replaces Bouncer with another FNAF World character, and then the episode actually ends like this. Before we move on to episode 11, yes, I know, just hear me out. I feel like I want to mention this because it's pretty important as to what happened. Basically, episode 10 was released on September 4th, 2016, and episode 11 released on June 21st, 2019. Yes, it's almost been 3 years since the last episode. Usually the episode's release date weren't that far off from each other, aside from episode 9 and 10's release. But this is the longest one so far. In that hiatus, he uploaded some shorts, including related to Sam, but I will talk about that later. However, on Valentine's Day 2017, he disappeared.
Yeah.
Back then, I kept refreshing his YouTube channel just to see if he uploaded anything. Yes, I know there's something called YouTube notification, but I used my mom's phone, and did you really think she wanna see this on her feed?
I will fuck the shit out of that robot, man. I'm not even...
So in October 2017, he actually came back with a long description as to what exactly happened. For one, he had some family issues and also school issues, and that made him a lot more stressed out. Episode 11 was actually done a month ago, but after rewatching it, he decided to not upload it because of how ugly the animation is, and he also thinks that people wouldn't like the supposed art style change. And of course, you have his PC fucking up the project. As an apology for not uploading videos, he released an animation about Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Oh. It got taken down.
The reason why I'm mentioning...
Hold on, let me read this. It got taken down. Maybe because of the Tom and Jerry music. Freaking copyrighted music. That's why.
The reason why I'm mentioning this is because of how he still cares about the series despite the issues. It really shows his dedication about his project, and also how gut-wrenching this makes me relate to his issues.
I ain't gonna lie though, that does have the parents issues and parents issues and all that stuff. I used to got some parents issues and some brother issues. Like in 2023, me and my brother got in an argument or something, a family argument. And I trying to not gonna keep secrets of everything that I did. I just don't want that and all that type of stuff. Like, it's just, I don't want to keep secrets to everything or any of my family secrets and all that on this video. Like, stuff and all of it I tried. Sometimes I always keep, sometimes I just need to calm down and just, sometimes I have to keep going outside, trying to cool things out. That's why I have to walk. And so, yeah. I got upset, literally. Well, we argued a lot. And I had to just leave out the door and just walk out and take myself a little walk. That's what I did. And I'm trying to calm myself down from all of this drama and all this stuff. And yeah, parents, but you trying to fight back at your parents is don't talk stuff at your mom and cursing, because but please just don't do it. Don't talk smart at your mother and all that stuff. You just have to respect. That's all you really need to do, because I yelled at her because she yelled at me. And Mom, I know you want to watch this I know you want to watch this, but I apologize to shout your name to all this. But y'all need to know, respect your mother. Don't just get mad at your mother what she did to you, but don't do the same like I did. Please. Because I don't want y'all to go. I know how mothers have difficulties and all that stuff, but please don't. Because I've been dealing with some issues over the years, bro. Literally.
watched my channel before, you know about this supposed project I'm talking about. That basically completely destroyed me. And I still stand at what I said at the beginning of the video. I don't think me making fun of him, or even act like an ass to him, wouldn't do anything at all. Anyway, let's go back to the series. Now, aside of episode 7 remastered, there was 2 shorts related to Sam. One was a Christmas special with a new animation style. This one is just about Mangle trying to find who took the cake, so she goes to the fucking North Pole, because it turns out that Santa ate the cake.
I don't know why he did.
And the other one is Sam's death, but it was recreated in a FNAF minigame. Season 1 did have this, but with Jenny's death. Please go away already.
Yeah,
by the way, look at how Purple Guy kills her.
Jesus. Just
like, what the fuck? Alright, so here's episode 11. And if I'm being really honest, this is the best episode of the entire series.
Like 4 years, I think. Part 1. It's kind of even what happened to part 1 also.
Episode 11 is different. Now, you would think that we will continue to where we left off, but actually no, because this episode is dedicated to Circus Baby from Sister Location. The only build up to her first appearance in episode 10 when we see Circus Baby's poster in the background. And no, Mangle reacting to Sister Location trailer doesn't count. Yes, this is real, and that video has a shit ton of views for some reason.
1 million.
Wow.
If I had to make a comparison to this episode, it's kind of similar to The Walton Files 3. But don't worry guys, this episode isn't as traumatizing as that shit. This episode was the hardest one to break down because of how long this fucking episode is. So I will try to break down everything this episode has to offer, and I sure hope I didn't miss anything. Since episode 7 remastered, there is a new intro and it's a lot better than the previous one we saw, especially with that FNAF 6 music.
Oh god, that Jennifer's face.
The episode starts with a loading screen for a game called Circus Baby 2. An error message shows up and says that the game is corrupted and it may take a while to load. We then see a title screen for the game, and at the bottom you can see copyrighted 2033 Fazbear Entertainment, indicated that it was made in present day, at least what I think. A message shows up saying, the new adventure has begun. Circus Baby is back once again, and your new task is to find each spare body parts scattered around the levels in order to create a new body. That sounds fucked up out of context. But you have one enemy in this game, and that is her. You can run or hide to lose her. Good luck! We will get to her in a second. We then start at the first level, Fields and Hills, and then we see the game's art style. And my god, it's really good. Like, this is on par with Sister Location minigame in my opinion. I'm honestly impressed by how he made this. And also the music slaps hard.
Yeah, it is.
A message shows up and it says what we already know about the body parts and her. And also we have 3 lives left. Circus Baby proceeds to move, and then she finds the right leg. She continues to find the other one, but then her shows up. Now at glance, it seems that her looks like Samantha, but I do not think that that is Samantha, but we will get to that later. Circus Baby hides behind the tree and waits for her to go away. She does, and she goes back to find the other leg. She finds it in a locked box, so she climbs up and lands on a moving platform, gets the key, and opens the box to get the left leg. Then her shows up again behind Circus Baby, so she runs to the next level of the game, the forest. Another message shows up saying that the left and right arm is in here, but the terrain is rough here. With Circus Baby responding, this is not gonna go well. She proceeds to go forward and sees the right arm locked in a box. She then sees a strange contraction in the middle of the forest and she questions why is it here. She grabs a rope and lands perfectly. She then sees a rock inside of the box and it seems to be connected with the contraction, so she removes the rock so she can get the right arm. Then her shows up again, so she hides from her behind the big trees. Circus Baby finds an entrance inside of the trees, so she gets in and gets up to the tree, with a message displaying a checkpoint. She gets the left arm, but falls down because it was a trap, and then gets caught by her.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
The message you see here may be just some random shit. However, if you paused, you can see secret messages like, save me, why did you do this to me, free me please, and end my misery. These lines probably comes from Circus Baby, or maybe someone else, having a mental breakdown. And also there's this, you better hurry up Spring Bonnie, cause I can't keep the devil waiting. I have no idea what this means. For all I know, it could be someone else telling Spring Bonnie to hurry. And that last line is actually a reference to FNAF 6.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
My theory is that Purple Guy is gonna take control of Springtrap entirely, so somebody is trying to warn him that he has no time left. But I could be wrong about this. Give me a break, I'm not Matt Bat.
I just simultaneously whipped a nay-nay!
We then go back to the last checkpoint, so Circus Baby gets the left arm before falling to the trap. After getting out of the tree, however, her shows up and chases Circus Baby. She then goes away from her as the music starts to fade away and enters a different place. Circus Baby seems to recognize this building, so she enters it and gets into the building deep down the stairs. And this level is called Abandoned Building.
I've never been seen.
Two parts remain, the torso and the head. She enters a room and sees her in there, so she hides behind a pile of stuff. She then sees a locked door, indicating that the door system is disabled, so she goes to turn it back on. She enters a room and sees a cupcake that she didn't have since the first game, and also a gasoline next to it. She turns the door system on so she can enter the room and gets the torso. She gets back up and goes to the hallway. If you look closely, one of the posters shows a hanged person as the music starts to fade into ambience. And then there's a big poster showing Circus Baby with 5 figures. And one of them shows up to Circus Baby. And there's supposed to be a Biddy Bab. Man, that name sucks. You know, these ugly motherfuckers from Sister Location.
I'm trying, guys, I'm trying!
And calls her mother baby. Then they proceed to hug each other, and Circus Baby questions where they have been and their sisters, but then they make a sad expression and says that they died while trying to find a way out. Circus Baby feels bad for them and apologizes. They then ask if they could come with her, and obviously she says yes. They also mention that they found a chest, and inside of it is the head, and it's at the circus gallery up ahead. Circus Baby thanks them and says he's her favorite, and he thanks her for that. They both go to where the box is, and Circus Baby goes to get it, but then it starts to glitch out. The message is saying what we already covered. However, if you pause for a split second, you can see this. If you don't know who she is, this is supposed to be Purple Guy's daughter, Elizabeth, who she came from Sister Location. To give a little bit of FNAF lore backstory, Afton tries to stop his daughter to get close to Circus Baby, because the Funtime animatronics' only mission is to capture kids.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? Daddy, you let the other children go see her. Why won't you let me go? Daddy, just once let me go play with her. She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me? Daddy, she can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons?
However, one day, she actually gets close to Circus Baby.
Daddy isn't watching. Don't tell Daddy that I'm here. I wanted to watch your show too. I don't know why he won't let me come see you. You're wonderful.
Oh,
Where do the other children go?
And what happens next is, well...
Yup. I already remember it. She was killed.
By the way, I want to mention this. The FNAF lore is almost as crazy as this show.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Trust me that this whole backstory is important to this episode. Circus Baby then no clips down, FNAF 3 style, while we see a hanged figure, which we saw before in that one poster. Her then shows up quickly to Circus Baby, so she avoids her as she can, while the music in the background is slowed and distorted.
Level 1.
She finally gets the key at the end while a figure is looking at her. She gets back up to the circus gallery and finally gets the head. Then the Betty Beb asks what is she doing with that and says she's gonna make a new body cause the old one she has is haunted. And it's of course haunted by Elizabeth. Baby goes to the basement to build her endo and she successfully does. Before she could do it, a message shows up that says there's no turning back, which is referencing the first line Baby has said at the beginning of the episode. She puts the new body on and puts the old one to the scooping room. She goes to the circus gallery to activate the scooping room and it cuts the old body in half. Circus Baby assumes she's 3, but then it jumps out from the scooping room.
Yeah. What?
She tells him to get out of the building because she has a second plan to do. He does go and then she remembers seeing the gasoline before. She goes to the room where it was along with a lighter. She takes the rotten cupcake and throws it to the old body so she could get out of the building. She successfully does and pours some gasoline on the floor. As soon as the old body is coming towards her, she says, "I'm sorry, Elizabeth," and throws the lighter at the gasoline where it burns it alive. While the background is getting darker, there's a nice detail where Circus Baby's eyes turn from green to blue. Cause remember, Elizabeth's color eye is green, implying that Elizabeth's soul has finally gone away from Circus Baby. And as you probably picked up by now, her is supposed to be Elizabeth's soul. And the whole Circus Baby trying to avoid from her seems to indicate that Circus Baby is trying to avoid Elizabeth's soul from taking control of her body, as we see with the game over screen. And yes, the game doesn't actually exist. It was a whole retelling for what exactly happened to Circus Baby. But hey, that's just the thing. Circus Baby sits down as it burns, and the scene changes from 8-bit to the current animation style. Circus Baby half-face is kinda broken and looks similar to Scrap Baby design. Then we see the incident that happened with Elizabeth, and you would think that we see her deathbed animated,
until her last moments. That was her last.
This scene was actually going to be her death, but he decided to do this instead. This scene is more of Circus Baby's imagination of what could have happened if she didn't kill her. And honestly, this is my favorite scene in the entire series. It really makes you feel really bad for Circus Baby and Elizabeth, and it kinda symbolizes her freedom from Baby.
Wow. And then there she goes, walking out of that abandoned building, wandering around with a big little child. And there she goes. Hey, ain't gonna lie though, because it's true. Because the scene in the actual sister location is originally happening, but he just don't want the same scene of that scene. So I think he's trying to like.
If you miss it, you will regret it. You can easily buy hot items on Alibaba.com.
And then we cut to a news report from IPN News Network, which is a news network that comes from Doom 3? Yeah, I guess I have to mention this, but Quiet Tomato loves Doom 3.
I love this game more than I love myself.
Especially on his Twitter account and also his second channel. I mean, I'm not complaining that he's talking about Doom 3 all the time, but Quiet Tomato loves
I didn't even know.
I love this game more than I love myself.
Especially on his Twitter account and also his second channel.
Oh, I didn't even realize this is a second channel.
I mean, I'm not complaining that he's talking about Doom 3 all the time on Twitter. At least it's something nice I see on this fucking website. It reports about spotting the mysterious 7 feet tall figure again, which is clearly Circus Baby. And at the scrolls, you can see it says, The Immortal and the Restless reboot cancelled after critical failure. The Immortal and the Restless is a fictional show that exists in the FNAF universe. And the joke about the show having a reboot came from episode 7 Remastered, where one of them talked about how shitty the reboot is. And also there is a reference to Crazy series called The Blue Universe, talking about how episode 4 had a shocking ending. I actually watched this and the Red Universe.
But hey, that's still coming. It's February, so I'm just gonna still keep on doing that. But not today, But y'all need to wait on that. The Blue Universe, maybe 4 episodes. I look, so y'all need to wait on that.
Come on, Haley, you can do this.
No, I'm not gonna tell you what happened at the end of episode 4. Doom Annihilation. Will it suck? Well, I think it did. Also, as we zoom out from the TV, we can see the coffee from Scott's old games, and also FNAF World Update 2, and also Springtrap's chainsaw in the background. Yes, I do watch MCU movies. How did you know? Oh, by the way, the puppet is here. And the funniest thing about this is that we haven't seen her since the first episode of season 1. And also that short cameo from season 2, episode 10. She seemed to recognize the figure, but Springtrap doesn't give a shit and changes the channel. In the post-credit scene, we can see Ballora but cut in half, and also a Minorina at the top of her head. She sees the aftermath and thinks that Circus Baby has finally freed Elizabeth, and proceeds to go fight her.
Oh, that was also Ballora's there too. Looking for her.
And that's it.
That's the end. What do you mean that's the end? That's not.
The show is not cancelled, by the way. Episode 12 is still in progress to this day. And there's a lot of information we have for the future of this series. And I'm gonna cover some of them. Episode 12 seemed to be more focused on Purple Guy, which, by the way, his name has finally changed to William Afton.
Got some jelly beans.
So yeah, fuck Vincent and Hector.
Yeah.
Though the differences between this Afton and the Afton from the games is that this one isn't British, so he's automatically better than the original.
Nerd.
And also the title episode is a reference to a line said by Springtrap from FNAF 6.
Fascinating. What they have become.
Back in 2021, a trailer was made for the show, and it shows us more what we expect, like a completely new art style for the show, and it looks so good than before. And there's some interesting stuff, like Spring Bonnie meeting Afton for the first time, and there's also new characters like Lolbit from Sister Location, who they were actually gonna be in episode 10, but Quiet Tomato decided to move them for later episodes. This random guy, who I don't think it's supposed to be Quiet Tomato, but who knows. While I was writing the script, I had no clue who the hell this is, and assumed to be a weirder version of Springtrap. But recently the opening of episode 12 has released, and then it shows us what it's supposed to be.
This figure. I already seen a clip of it. But I already seen a little clip of his Quick Potatoes channel, and this is what he's gonna see. This.
Yeah, I have no idea who the fuck that is. Quiet Tomato didn't even give him a name, so for now he's called Other Spring Bonnie. Also, the trailer ends with this, implying that it's gonna end at episode 14. Strangely, just like the crossover. Coincidence? Yeah, probably. Hey, remember this tweet I brought up before? Well, at the end of the thread, it seemed to imply that some of the characters that Quiet Tomato removed could come back in the future. I mean, I highly doubt he's gonna bring back TF2 and Undertale characters, but I'm still intrigued as what he's gonna do. There's a sketch panel where it reveals how the animatronics learned to swear, and of course, it was from kids.
What a fucking...
Now, I'm not sure if this is gonna happen, but it seemed that Jenny has new friends, with one of them got replaced with Gregory from Security Breach. Damn. There's a Twitter thread where Kawaii Tomato redraws some panels from Season 1. In one of them, you can see a newspaper that says, Tochika and Foxy broke up. Damn. For some reason, it seemed to imply that Tochika and Mangle could be in love. And speaking of Mangle, their pronouns has changed to they, them, which may seem kind of unnecessary until you realize that in the FNAF games, Mangle's gender is actually yes. So I guess this is fine.
Okay.
It's iced tea. I'm trying to show you.
But I don't know what's up with this drawing, but it makes sense though.
Oh, and by the way, it seemed to hint that Foxy is transitioning into Roxy. Yeah, that's kind of random, but okay.
Yeah.
So, there is a question floating in your head right now. Why did I talk about this weird-ass show for this long? I mean, I could have talked about a TV show, a movie, hell, maybe even a fucking webcomic. But instead, I talked about this 2015 FNAF series about a crazy fox and a rabbit that has a killer inside of him. Well, I have two reasons as to why. Number one, I was bored. No, seriously.
True.
And I have wanted to make this video for a very long time. And number two, it's just fun talking about the series.
I mean, it's been like, how long? Just for the
Springtrap and Mangle, another FNAF series I grew up with, despite whatever their quality are, I still have some nice nostalgic memories to them. And it's much hate because of how toxic the FNAF community back then. Well, I mean, it's still toxic to this day. But you get what I mean.
King Carter will burn for eternity.
And I really liked rewatching Sam and enjoyed all of the weird shit and the amazing things that happened recently with the series, even if I complained about some stuff from it. By the way, I want to say this, just not to kick my ass for later, but I'm not that much of a great content creator too. I try, yes, but I don't want to get too cocky and say that I make better videos than you. This show did give me some inspiration to make this channel, and I'm not the only one who's too fond of this series. Back at that thread where Kawaii Tomato redraws some panels from Season 1, the tweet has gotten a lot of attention, with a lot of replies talking about growing up watching the show and how Kawaii Tomato made their childhood. And that's honestly wholesome, I'm not gonna lie. And for that, I want to give a special thanks to Kawaii.
You know what? I hate to be on it. I think to be honest, because that makes me feel like it makes me miss one of the good old days of watching this. Like my memory just like remember this freaking animation and all that stuff, and it's just crazy like how in the world I able to remember it, because after seeing Crazy is Crazy, but all I seen all the I'll just get there in a minute. My dog.
Tomato. And also, Crazy is Crazy. If you are watching this, I know this seems so overwhelming to see someone reviewing your own series for this long, or you're just confused as fuck. But I just want to say thank you for making the series. It kinda means a lot to me. This show really shows his improvements later on, and I like how he's still dedicated to continue the show until it ends. And I could say the same thing for some of the FNAF community, because of how they're so dedicated to work on their project. Also, I know trying to watch this series is a fucking mess, but I have made a playlist that has the entire series in a particular order. I even re-uploaded some of the episodes that weren't on Kawaii Tomato's channel on my second channel, which I obviously took it from the Mangles, but I fixed some of the issues that the original compilation had. The link will be in the description. And if you ask, yes, I will cover the rest of the episodes until the series actually finishes. And that could happen to, I don't know, until my channel hits 10 years or some shit. And to end this video with this question, will I cover other FNAF series that I grew up with? And the answer is, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, who knows? I guess we will have to see. And if I'm being honest, some of those FNAF series are even weirder than Sam. Trust me on that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember what Monty said.
Trans Rust.
Chest, Springtrap fun take Jennifer's body actions. But I have literally one question though. Where is Samantha? Where did that Hector hid Samantha's body because she still is a spirit. Because we need to know what happened to the Samantha's body when he placed it, when we hide it, or he hides somewhere. Because we saw Springtrap burn Jennifer's body, to rest in peace. But where is Jennifer's? But where is Samantha? Well, Samantha. What? Yeah, I think so. That looks fire intro. That looks fire of that intro. It's been 10 years. 10 years of his work. Yep. I've been seeing all his videos for 10 years since I came and now it's starting to make my brain remember this.
To tell me this love was right. They'll never see how this love came to be.
I'm trying to make sure this movie is copyrighted. God dang it, it is copyrighted, Joe. Music.
And when I hold you,
earn cash for taking surveys on Swagbucks. Go to the answer section. Agree to give thoughtful.
I know it's not very good, but
well, that was really long. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, then why the fuck are you still watching to the end? This video took a while to make, and I guess it was worth it. Though obviously there were some issues while I was making this video. Firstly, recording the audio. You might have noticed that some of the audio in this video sounds strangely inconsistent, and you can't tell which parts that were re-recorded. And that's because the way I get the audio is by speaking really closely to the laptop, and it does get really tedious at times. Yes, I did buy like a high quality microphone, but both of my laptops wouldn't even recognize it. I honestly tried everything to connect the microphone to Audacity, but nothing happens. Trust me, I really tried. What a waste of fucking money. And also about the re-recordings, there were some moments where I pronounced some words wrong or spelled it weirdly. Obviously because English isn't my first language, but still. And it's not a joke when I say that I re-recorded so many times. It's actually hilarious. I even added some stuff that wasn't in the script because of news coming out recently about the series. And I felt like I want to add more. Hell, I even removed some stuff that just didn't fit the video at all. That's how much I have done to this video. And secondly, at the beginning of August, I got really sick. Like so fucking sick that I couldn't even do anything at all. And I was afraid that this video could be delayed. But who knows when this video actually comes out. But aside of these issues, this was like the most fun I have ever made to a video. Hell, I even consider this to be my best video ever. Which isn't really that much of a high bar, but that's my thought at least. I'm aware that this video isn't perfect, and if I made some mistakes, please tell me. I love when people tell me a mistake that I didn't even notice. And yeah, I was being serious about the stuff I said back there. I was really bored making the other videos. It was a fucking stress. And I have always wanted to make this video for like a very long time. And I'm surprised that I actually did it. Like, this is the first time I have ever done a long critique of something. And it's a fucking FNAF series of all things. I never wanted this video to be like these other long critique videos. You know, when a certain person talks about a movie for so long that they don't even feel like they want to talk about it. I mean, it could be just some personality, but you can obviously tell. I'm not saying these videos are bad, I just didn't want this video to have the same vibe as these videos. And speaking of which, yes, I did get some inspiration from this. Basically from YMS, Ellis Mark, and Pyrocynical. These guys really made some nice long critique videos, and I highly recommend watching them. And also I want to thank my friend, Thailandland264, for giving me tips about making long videos. She made a long video about her ranking for the FNAF games. That video is fucking outdated, by the way, but still, these tips helped me out. And lastly, I want to talk about what happened recently with the channel. Basically, the Fifth King video has almost reached 100k views. I'm honestly surprised the video has gained a lot of views. I even linked the FNAF 4 video in the comment section, and that video got about...
Would you look at that? It's been 2 years since he uploaded it, and he reached 117k views. Everyone shout out to him.
1.7k views, which yeah, I know it isn't much, but it's more views than the FNAF 2 video, so that's fine by me. I highly doubt this video would get as much views as these. I mean, I could predict that the views could be 5. Just 5 views. But hey, who knows? A Twitter user could find this video and tweet about how unnecessarily long this video is and get like 30k likes. And also my channel has reached to 400 subscribers, which is insane. And thank you so much for the latest support. It means a lot to me. And you know, you could consider this video as a 400 subscribers special. It wasn't meant to be, but then again, I didn't expect this to happen. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching. I guess I will see you soon.
Oh God.
No!
Well, I guess that was it. Well, my first story, my experience after 2015, when I remembered, like, his videos, right? It's been, like, literally 10 years, and I straight up, oh my gosh. It was been so freaking long. After watching Joy Does Stuff story about this Springtrap and Mangle, it makes me feel remembered of this video. Like, parent issues and stressful issues. Like, that might happen to you. It might happen to all of us. Having troubles, parent argued, and parent issues and all that stuff. So yeah, it might be happening of that. So yeah, cause I've been doing less well, but I also like having troubles. Like, I always record, but I always like doing Wednesdays because I thought I would be like doing horror videos, because I also react to some of the people's channels, and I always look at my videos, and yeah. It's okay, you know, it's alright for me to make views and all this. So, whew. But then again, though, it might happen to all of us. But don't be stressful and all that. But, yeah. Because the reason I choose to, like, doing reacting videos, because it would be a good idea for me to, like, stop making me, like, upload into other videos and stuff. My first thought of it was great. It had me nostalgic, because after reacting to I need to check my video. I need to check the videos up. I mean, after seeing of Z Mangle's compilation of the videos of the guy, well, hate to say it though, but at least she did made a full series of it. But the dang copyrighted songs of it, that too. So, whew, yeah. But then again, I guess that was it for the day. So, thank you for joining my live stream and reacting of 1 hour. Hold on. It's been 2 hours too. Never mind. Anyway, thank you for joining my live stream, and thank you all for watching this whole 2-hour video. And I guess I know the story of this show, but I have literally one question: where is Hector after she shot herself, and he laughed and see the death of her? And then just one question: what happened to the body of Samantha because it's somewhere at this restaurant, Ron. Because it's somewhere at that restaurant. We don't know. Or I don't know. I don't know. Quit Potato will come back, or he'll wait another time, or we'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait on that. All right, you guys. That was it for the live stream. I'm gonna end the streaming here. So make sure to click the like to the subscribe button, click that notification bell, and don't worry, the Blue Universe will be upload, but not today, but maybe I'll upload it. But y'all don't know I'm gonna upload or not. So yeah. All right, Shadow Nest.0. Shadow Nest.0. I'll talk to you all later. Peace. Thank you.